Welcome to Waukesha County GovCast, your source for what's happening in our vibrant community. I'm your host, Hillary Mintz, Public Information Officer.
And I'm Sean Lundy, Chief of Staff for Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow.
Each episode, we dive into the latest news, community projects, and the initiatives shaping Waukesha County, where innovation meets public service. From in-depth discussions on local governance to county services, we're here to keep you informed and connected. So whether you're a resident, a business owner, or just curious about local government, join us for a closer look at the heart of your county. Well, welcome to GovCast. Today is Monday, September 15th. I'm Hillary Mintz here with Sean Lundy.
Hey, Hillary.
Hey, Sean. Well, you can feel it in the air. Fall is upon us. In this episode, we're diving into the best fall activities in our county parks. From colorful hikes and cozy campfires to family-friendly events, we'll share everything you need to know to make the most of the season outdoors. Our staff from Parks and Land Use will join us, but first, here's some news around the county. Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow will introduce the 2026 county budget to the county board on September 23rd. The County Board of Supervisors will then vote on the budget in November. As communities continue to clean up from the August historic flooding, the Expo Center recently hosted a multi-agency resource center for those who experienced flood damage. FEMA also returned to Waukesha County to conduct public damage assessments of flood damage. They stopped at spots along the Fox River, Menominee Falls, and Butler. The governor requested a presidential disaster declaration, which was approved, so now homeowners who did experience flood damage can begin applying for federal assistance. All right, but we're back to our guests here because Parks and Land Use, we have Rebecca Montano and Natalie Fairbanks. Natalie, it is your first time on GovCast. And Rebecca, I think the last time we had you on GovCast, we were on the ninth hole there, ninth green at Nagawaki Golf Course. It was a beautiful summer day. And yeah, I mentioned that kind of falls in the air, but summer's still hanging on. But we are ready to talk about just all things fall related. Saturday, we have our premier event at Retzer Nature Center, Apple Harvest Fest. Tell us about this magical event and, what Retzer Nature Center is and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, Hillary. So Saturday, September 20th is Apple Harvest Festival at our Retzer Nature Center. And this is one of our biggest events of the year. It's very family-friendly, community-oriented. We welcome about 5,000 people, but there's plenty to do all day long, and it's just a really great time.
I know this is a big event, and I know it's super fun, and parents go take their kids. So it's people of all ages, fun for all ages. Whenever you go to Apple Harvest Fest, it's been around for a very, very long time. So if we just break it down like little by little here, in case you're new to Waukesha County or you've never been to Apple Harvest Fest before, let's break it down like kids, cost, hours, park entry. What are some of the things people should know before they go?
Absolutely. So it's $10 cash admission, and that's for your whole carload. So bring a big vehicle, get everybody in. And the hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we'll have a full day of events, plenty of things to do. There's a lot going on all day long. There's family-friendly activities. There's activities that are just for the kids. We have a beer garden happening, so maybe a little more adult-oriented, but there's plenty of other beverages, treats, apples, lots of good things happening.
5,000 people, that's a lot of people. And you mentioned long time. I mean, 38 years.
Right.
The weather looks amazing, by the way. So I don't know, maybe we're going to have more than 5,000.
Well, the great part about this event is that it's at our Retzer Nature Center, so it's spread all throughout the grounds. So even though we expect a crowd, it never feels like a crowd. There's lots of private spaces for you to explore your own activities. We have an expedition passport through one of our trails. We'll have Scarecrow Lane with some scarecrows set up. We have a story hike that's in collaboration with the Bridges Library System. Lots of activities inside our building as well as outside. I also want to back up and mention that if you're a Friends of Retzer Nature Center member, you do get in free. So that's another little perk for people looking to attend.
And so let's back up to my favorite part of this thing. Tell me about the beer garden situation. What is there a specific brewery, or are you offering multiple?
So a lot of apple ales.
Right.
Yes, for sure. So we have a long-standing partnership with Delafield Brewhouse, and they'll be running the beer garden. There will be live music presented by Generac. So a lot of sights, sounds, things to taste. We also have the apple market, which is a big highlight for a lot of folks. There's local orchards that are providing the apples. That's a really big thing that people try to check out every single year because we have new varieties. We have a lot of unique varieties of apples that you really won't find other places unless you're going to those specific orchards themselves. But they make sure and save their best for us. So that's why you should come out to Retzer.
And then Hillary mentioned the weather looks absolutely amazing for the upcoming weekend, but let's assume, like, what if we got a stray shower or something like that? What is the policy on weather? Is it a rain or shine event?
It's a rain or shine event, but we don't want to put anybody in miserable conditions. So we're always keeping an eye on that. We post any updates about the event on our Waukesha County Parks Facebook page, as well as we have a Park Alerts webpage on the Waukesha County website. So that'll be your source for the most up-to-date information, but we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's going to be a great day and lots of sunshine.
And then is it indoor and outside? Are there some indoor activities, and what facilities are used at Retzer for this event?
Yes, so we open up some of our grass area for grass parking because we expect so many vehicles, and our parking lot is sort of transformed into the beer garden and music area, as well as we have a vendor market. So these are local crafts people who produce a lot of really unique, eco-friendly, sustainable types of items. It's a great chance to, pick up something for yourself, plan ahead for the holiday season. The vendors that are there are completely unique to anything that you will find at any sort of festival in the area. So it's a really special opportunity to see what local people in our community are able to produce.
And you mentioned $10 for the whole carload. That's a really good deal.
That's a steal.
When you consider the events around Southeast Wisconsin and how much it costs per person to get in, especially with being such a family-friendly event. And
Right.
So if you have an annual membership to our parks, are you still paying $10?
Yes, so this is a special event, so it's $10, and we think it's a really great value because that money goes back into supporting all of the work that the park is doing. So it's a wonderful opportunity to just come out to give back, but there's plenty of free activities. So like I mentioned, the live music, there's Partners in the Pines, so we have a lot of local groups that come in and are offering education programs, hands-on activities for the kids. This is really an event where you could spend all day and have enough to do. And, from the things in the apple market with the apple sales, there's also apple treats. I know myself, I get pie every single year. I mark it on my calendar to plan ahead. Do not miss it because it's just the best around. And the baked goods are through a partnership with Waukesha County Technical College, so their pastry students are producing all of these treats. It's just a really, really special opportunity. A lot of great partnerships, a lot of things to do, great food and beverage, and we're so grateful to all of our partners and volunteers as well that make this happen.
So if you were looking for more information on Apple Harvest Fest, where could you find that?
You can go directly to the event's webpage, which is wauk.co/AHF.
I mean, to put on an event that must take a ton of time and effort from, our staff can you describe what it's like to put on an event like that?
Sure, I can take this one. So our whole staff, we have about a month that we plan this out, right? There are spreadsheets and checklists and everybody pitches in. So the day of, we probably have about 30 regular staff members there parking cars, helping in the apple market, helping with all things, right? Any of bee sting, garbage, all of that stuff to make sure people have a great time at the event. But then we also depend pretty heavily on our volunteers. And so I would say this event brings anywhere anywhere from 50 to 75 volunteers that run an array of things. We have 2 shifts, and so they're helping with everything as well. And so it's another great opportunity for more partnerships. So we have our key clubs come out. We have a lot of local organizations that come out and they volunteer with us. I mean, almost every year too, we have the same people who will come out and support us for this event.
And this event really also a great opportunity to see Retzer Nature Center if you've never been there. Can you guys just, again, for our listeners of GovCast, tell us, I mean, Retzer Nature Center is a pretty special place. How many acres are we talking? Like, what's the lay of the land?
Right. So Retzer's about 500 acres. So it's a really large area. We have diverse trails. So we have everything from our accessible trail now, which is our new Discovery Trail that has a bunch of activities in there and it's fully accessible. It actually is fully accessible all the way down to our boardwalk, which takes you through a nice wooded area next to a creek. And so it's just really a wonderful way to get everybody, all ages, all abilities out there. And Retzer provides a really unique opportunity that for no extra charge on normal days, right, you can get there and you can get out in nature, like literally get out in nature. So we're also working on an upgrade to the children's garden. And then above and beyond all that, we have a lot of beautiful prairie area and trails that go through those beautiful prairies into oak savannas and woodlands. And we have a fen, which is a unique ecosystem. So pretty much you can get there and you can get an opportunity to see everything. If you can hike up to the vista, you get these beautiful views of the surrounding area. So yes, there is so much to do. And then you go inside to Retzer, right? And when you go inside, they have the recycling exhibit, they have the animal exhibit, there's the planetarium, right? So all of these additional opportunities and our animal ambassadors. So it's just a great experience for people looking to do something with their family, get out and have a diverse amount of activities to do.
Yeah, I think Retzer really highlights a couple of things that make Waukesha County unique. One, it's our approach to parks. It is a nature-based environment. So you're walking around the 500 acres that you've wonderfully described, and you do truly feel like that you're somewhere else. It's a unique experience. You know, you look out and Retzer sits really high on that hill. So if you hike back a little bit, you look over miles and miles of land, and it's really a unique experience. Yeah. And I also think that Apple Harvest Fest, which we had talked about, you know, also highlights something that's unique about Waukesha County, and that's how we're taking advantage of volunteer time. And you talked about the 50 to 75 volunteers. We use volunteers in a lot of different programming, and that helps keep the cost down of the event at $10 a carload, which is amazing. But also, you know, that's how we save money just as a county in general, and having volunteers help out and keep taxes low. So it's kind of like a microcosm of how Waukesha County operates and how we're unique is really Retzer Nature Center and this particular event.
Absolutely. I think the volunteers become our biggest asset in, you know, we get 8,000 to 9,000 volunteer hours a year, and they do such a diverse amount of things. It really increases our capacity to get more done. I mean, our goal is always clean, safe, and open at our park facilities. And so, you know, with only 1 to 2 full-time staff members at each park, they're averaging 300 to 500 acres large, right? You need more hands. And so we're very fortunate in our county that our volunteer base is really strong. And that allows us to improve and increase our capacity while keeping costs down, right? So that the memberships and the daily permits and the events can stay at relatively low cost without with still being responsible, fiscally responsible to the taxpayers.
Well, Apple Harvest Fest, I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait. And I'm getting thirsty and hungry and all at the same time. Yes, I think bring the sunscreen, bring a hat, bring water, right? And just going to be a great time. And so Natalie mentioned all the information. It's online. You're going to be posting about it on social media. But, you know, that is just the beginning of fall fun in our parks. Retzer will, after Apple Harvest Fest, will have even more family-friendly events leading up to Halloween. What are some of those events that people can look forward to?
So with Retzer, we'll have the story hike, and the Scarecrow Lane will stay throughout the month. So get out there and get hiking and check those wonderful things out. Obviously, planetarium shows are still happening there, but then think outside of Retzer and our broader park system. I mean, the biking, the hiking, the fall colors, and so there's a couple places like Manuka Park is a really, really nice wooded area, and those hikes are just amazing in fall. And then you've got Fox River, which is another great park that has a fully accessible paved trail that goes from wetlands to woodlands. And so there's those opportunities, as well as obviously Retzer with their diverse habitats and hiking opportunities. But then we also have get camping, right? Go do some local camping. We have that through October. You can go camping. We still have fishing going on. Our beer gardens are still open through the rest of this month.
I hear you.
So so there's a lot to do yet outside of just Retzer, or, there's just so many things to go explore. And I would say get around to golfing, going back to our last podcast, right?
And how long are the golf courses open? Are the pins in until it snows, or how's it work?
Yeah, so it's weather dependent, really. We don't pick an opening date or an end date ever, because you never really know. If we get a nice extended summer, why wouldn't we stay open, right? So everybody loves to get golf until the snow flies. So we're going to keep it open as long as we can.
I know we had Paul out, the county executive, out there, couple Februarys ago, doing some putting out there at Moore Downs. So February, right? January. I mean, you just never know every year what's going on with our weather. So right. I guess, yeah, you're right. If you can golf as long as you can, hey, why not do it? And you mentioned fall colors, right? Because I think it's what we all wait for every year. I know, and we talked a lot about Retzer, very popular place for family photos. I may or may have not done that last year. Okay, I did. It's so beautiful, but the timing, it's like, how do you time it perfectly? But so I don't know. Do we have any preview of peak colors this year?
I would say for peak color, we're always looking, it's usually mid-October. It's like your best bet, right? Second, third week in October. However, if we have 80s for another couple weeks, right, that might get pushed back. So I always tell people, and I don't know if it's okay to plug this, but I'm going to, and you can take it out later. Travel Wisconsin and the DNR do fall color reports, and they include our area in there. So I would definitely suggest if people are looking for peak colors, that's where you go. But also just, when it's getting cooler and you see them, the time to go, right? It's coming in about a month.
But I'm also an advocate for getting out there now, because the colors are just starting to turn and there's still so much greenery. So you can kind of experience both things and watch that progress throughout the next few weeks. So the temperatures are still great. Fall starts to get a little chilly. You pull your sweaters out. But right now you can still get out there with maybe even short sleeves and shorts. So the weather next couple weeks is looking great. But there's an opportunity to experience all the parks in the park system and see how they're changing over these next few weeks and months. There's 9 Waukesha County parks, and we always say that our annual park membership pays for itself after just 6 visits. So if you're planning out your next few weekends, you have time to get around and experience a different park every weekend, see how the colors are changing throughout the area, and it's a really nice experience and gives you a chance to get outside and do something new.
In the fall, do we have one of the special dates where people can get free entrance into the park regardless of whether or not they have a sticker?
So that was a longstanding tradition that we have eliminated. It just it created quite a bit of confusion for our members and non-members alike. And so actually what we do is say, hey, our annual memberships go on sale the day after Thanksgiving, so our Black Friday
sale.
right?
Great deal.
And so it gets you an extra month. So you would buy your 26 membership and you would get access all of December. So we've decided to pivot a little bit on that, but there are other free days in the parks that still exist, just not coming up this fall yet.
Okay. And, the other thing that's about that sticker revenue and why it's so important is that we're running well over 80% of your entire park's budget is covered by the revenue generated by those stickers, by those entrance fees. And so Parks is really just in a unique position, probably statewide, I would imagine, because we're one of the few that have a park entry sticker system. similar to the state of Wisconsin state parks. And so we're able to dramatically reduce the amount of money or the amount of taxpayer support for the parks through those sticker sales.
Right. So it's a user-based situation where we have, people are paying for the places they love and helping us sustain that through the memberships and the permits. And so, again, that goes pretty far. And like you said, about 80% of our revenue. I mean, I have to give a kudos. So I'm going to take an opportunity to give a kudos to our team. We're a small but mighty team. And then you add our volunteers to it, and we can do a lot with a little to make sure we're clean, safe, and open. And then we're also saving taxpayer dollars as much as we can.
And just to also point out that the annual membership covers your entire vehicle. So when you look at bringing your family out to do a recreational activity, per person, that's a really low cost option. And we see it again and again with how many people are out in the parks enjoying. But of course, there are also free amenities as well. So all of the bike trails and our other trails throughout the area are open to anyone. And there's a lot of other amenities this time of year as well.
Yeah, so just 6 times. I mean, if you could do it in a week, you could pay for itself in 1 week, and then you're good for the rest of the year. So so get out there, enjoy our parks. Well, Rebecca and Natalie, thank you so much for coming on GovCast today and telling us all about the fun things to do in our parks this fall. Apple Harvest Fest is Saturday the 20th. We hope to see you there. Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow and subscribe to GovCast, and we'll see you next time.